So new data has just come out in the UK that the R number here, which expresses how contagious the virus is and how infectious it is, has dropped below 1. This is the COVID Symptom Study app released by Imperial College that tracks in real time where that R number is, and it's better than any test and trace system that has been failed at by our government. And this shows that even before lockdown, the R number was dropping below 1. And this is something we've seen over and over again, and evidence that our government took this entire country into Tier 4 lockdown, which is why London right now, there's no one here. I just took a picture on the tube this morning. I'm the only person in the carriage, based on incorrect evidence, based on a lack of science, making this another disproportionate response to the virus. It's frustrating when we see a Cambridge University study with flawed numbers that we can see the data is flawed in real time because the predictions it's making about data today is even wrong, not to mention what happens in the future. That same study numbers were revised down 4 times lower after that evidence came out, and yet we're still here in lockdown. Nobody thought, well, wait a second, maybe we should reverse that because it was bad data. I spent the 2 hours yesterday speaking with Harvard medical professor, Dr. Martin Kulldorff, who said, Brian, cases don't matter. Any doctor worth his salt never would look at a case because the more tests you do, the more cases you get by definition. He said it doesn't make sense to test anyone below the age of 18. And he said the general population, it doesn't make sense to test someone who's asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic because that data doesn't tell you anything. And he said you cannot compare that data to April or May this year because there was no testing happening back then. So to take this figure like we were thrown out yesterday here in England, that 34,700 new cases, a big record, is somehow a metric that we should use to determine public policy, is a massive, massive error. It's an abomination. It's an insult. And it's ruining the livelihoods of millions of our citizens, the mental health, the economy, everything. It's getting crushed because of this number that is meaningless. And the doctor went on to say and said, Brian, there's 3 numbers that matter: hospitalizations, deaths, and excess mortality, excess deaths, from what we're seeing this year to a typical year. And he said a lot of countries were seeing more deaths because the shutdown is killing more people. They can't get cancer treatments. Killing more people because of mental health, because of physical health, because of depression, because of drug addiction, because of domestic abuse. All of these things are happening and they're real. And yet, we don't quantify that. We're not looking at that long-term collateral damage. All we're looking about is this number of cases, which is the most ridiculous number, but it's on the front page of newspapers every single day. The New York Times, The Guardian, and all these ridiculous publications whose job it is to scare you, to get you to watch more of their stuff. And unfortunately, our governments have been co-opted into this same policy of using that number to determine our future livelihoods and continue with more and more of these ridiculous lockdowns. And the mayor of London crusaded for, campaigned for the latest lockdown for weeks and weeks, saying it was quote unquote inevitable. I've never heard a scientific assessment where something was inevitable. It was always based on the science. Our current mayor took all boroughs of London into lockdown together because he says we must go all as one into bankruptcy, all as one into mental health issues, all as one into more bailouts for his city. It's frustrating to watch, but we can see it happening in front of our eyes. And so what we need is new leadership. We need a proportionate response to the virus, which is what the Dr. Kulldorff was talking about as far as focused protection. Let's protect our elderly. Let's protect those in our care homes. Let's protect our older citizens. Let's protect our older citizens that have to work. The working class is bearing the brunt of much of this infection, which is just not right. But the younger people need to get back out there, go to work, live their lives. And that's so crucial, and it's not being talked about, but I will be talking about it because I want to take London in a new direction. I want to stop with this senseless lockdown. I want to get London back to work. I want to put our health first. I want to put science first. I want to put family first. I want to put education first. And we can do it quickly. All we need to do is have real leadership that makes intelligent decisions and aren't interested in their lobbyists and their vested interests and their careers as politicians. That's what these people do. They're glorified administrators. They have no leadership. They have no vision. And guess who pays for that? You and me. And we also pay as taxpayers. And we will be paying big for what's happening right now. And it's a shame, and it doesn't need to happen. So leave me your comments below. I appreciate your ideas. As your next mayor of London, I'm going to change all that. On May 7th, we go in a new direction, and we're going to make the city world-class once again. I promise you.